Hey guys, this is Jay with Second Round Fitness. Just wanted to reach out to you guys. Today we're going to talk about the squat. The body weight squat, the air squat in particular is what we're going to go over. A lot of people have stepped into my gym recently and they've gone through my onboarding, or I take them through a overhead squat, other transitional movement assessments, even gait analysis, and see all types of muscular imbalances and things like that they have. Or they come from another gym where they weren't too successful and they come in and one of the trainers or coaches there told them this is how they squat. And you see them and it looks like they're going to blow a knee out as soon as you load a barbell or any type of a heavy weight and maybe a goblet position or overhead or something like that. So let's go over the very basics of how a squat occurs. We're not going to think about the kinetic chain up points on the upper part of the body. Let's just think of the kinetic chain check points on the lower part of the body. So in relation to the squat, we're thinking of hip, knee, ankle. Now that those three joints, we have a lot that occurs at the hip, minimal things going on at the joint of the knee. It's a very, very, very strong joint, but there's really only two things occurring at it. It's a hinge joint, flexion and extension. Then you have the ankle, a very complex joint, very similarly to the hip. But again, your whole body's weight is distributing to that point. So we need to think of when you do a squat, and are you all of a sudden going forward with the knees to keep your torso upright and you're not even barely getting your femur, your upper thigh, to a parallel? Or do you do your squats and are you always feeling pain maybe across the top of it? So that would be the tendon, your quadriceps or patellar tendon, and that's going to be a patellar tendinopathy. Do you feel deep pains within the knee joint itself, like at the ACL or things of that nature? Do you feel pains on the outside of it where the IT is? There's IT band syndrome, so many things that could be related to just bad forms of squat. And sometimes, unfortunately, with the blowing up of the way fitness field is in our society today, it's great. A lot of people are trying to get in health and wellness, but not every coach is qualified to teach you a proper squat, okay? Squat is the king of all exercise, uses the most muscle, greatest amount of neuromuscular coordination has to occur right there. Plus, let's think about it, as humans, we walk on our legs. So today, let's think, we need to strengthen those legs, okay? So what I usually like to favor, I tell everyone stand with their feet right underneath their hips, okay? Now, I myself favor Olympic weightlifting, so I do like my knees bowing out a little bit. Usually what you're looking for is your knee to track over the second and third toe, okay? But the big thing, if you're loading a barbell on your back, or you have a front rack position squat, so a front squat, whether you cross your arms, you load in the front rack, even if you're doing a thruster at CrossFit or any cross-training type template gym, or any overhead squat, which is the most complicated out of them in my eyes, okay? So if you're loading and you go to break that kinetic chain, so out of those 3 points we previously talked about, if your knee breaks first and then you sit into that, hey, look at the angle of my torso just doing it body weight, and then think about all those compression forces, where do you think they're going at that point before you sit? So if the knee is the middle joint, why don't we use a much more dominant, stronger joint, the hip first? And what I mean with that is you don't want to overtly roll your pelvis into this anterior pelvic tilt. We're not looking for that. You want to flex your hip and almost simultaneously allow the knee to break at the same time. So you'll be here, push the butt back, sit on the toilet. Your weight should stay balanced right over what's considered mid-foot, and then drive through the ground to stand up. So again, nice proud chest, not too much to where you're showing me your ribs, but a nice straight natural back musculature engaged. Flex your hips simultaneously, allow the knees to break, and sit into it. All we're looking for is parallel at the start and then come out. When you start to drive, you should feel your glutes fire. You should feel the lengthening of your quads occurring, which is the eccentric function. And then stand up in the exact same manner you came down. Now, if you go to do a squat, and let's say you're overtly having a anterior pelvic tilt, a butt wink, any falling forward of the arms, any problems with the torso or anything like that, there's probably definitely a level of an assessment you're going to need to go through for us to identify tight and weak muscles. But for now, let's think about the way I showed you that and practice those at home. Look forward to hearing from you guys again soon. This is Jay with Second Round Fitness. God bless.